Hey guys, Darren Asbury here with Revital Outdoors, bringing you another exciting podcast. Tonight we're going to go to the great state of Kentucky. We're going to interview Mr. Stu Eversole. Stu got a top 5 finish last year at the BFL LBL division tournament on Kentucky Lake. So very, very excited to talk to him. And that tournament's coming up again this year, the next couple of weeks. So he's going to give us a lot of great insights of what he was able to capitalize last year, what he predicts for this year. Before we get started, Revital Outdoors is very excited to announce we are doing a $2,500 giveaway. This is a phenomenal angling package that we're going to give away at the end of the season. To enter this giveaway, we're going to put up a QR code here real quick. Take your cell phone and scan this code. It is coming up right now. Okay, thank you for scanning that code. Again, that puts you in for a $2,500 giveaway at the end of the season. If you weren't able to scan that code, the link is in the description at the top of the page. Just click that link and enter your information. You'll be entered into the contest. Also, make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. That way you get notified when all of our content is dropping. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. That's Revital Outdoors. And if you've never heard of Revital Outdoors, we're a premium CBD company. We offer premium CBD products to all the outdoor enthusiasts out there. If you have back issues, knee discomfort, joint discomfort, trouble sleeping at night, anything that you're suffering, any ailments out on the water or in the field that's hindering you from being able to do that, our products are really great to help you relieve some of those symptoms. We're THC free, made right here in America. So check us out. You can purchase all of our products directly off our website, www.revitaloutdoors.com. That being said, let's go ahead and get right into the podcast. Very excited to interview Mr. Stu Eversole tonight. How you doing tonight, bud?
Theron, I'm doing really, really good. Happy to be on the broadcast and share what I know, and hopefully it'll help some guys catch them.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, well, let's just start out. I looked up your record on Kentucky Lake. You seem to do very, very well on Kentucky Lake. You've had a phenomenal career there, the tournaments you have fished. So tell us what makes Kentucky Lake so special to you and what do you like about it?
Well, it's been new to me. I moved into Kentucky Lake. We have a home on Big Bear Creek, and it was all brand new as far as tournament fishing. I cut my teeth tournament fishing on the Ohio River. And that's all shallow backwater target fishing. And so coming to Kentucky Lake, it was like starting over again, new equipment, different style baits. You had to really be aware of seasonal patterns and, water levels and water temperatures and things like that. So it was really a learning process. And so, you have to study it. You have to talk to some guys that are really accomplished down there. And I ran across some guys that were very comfortable sharing what they know, very welcoming, and it really helped me along. Honestly, I went out with a guide a couple of times just to talk to me about, patterns and different times of the year and things like that. And that really helped. It moved me along quickly in my path to learn the lake. And so it really helped. And so I try to use what I learn every year and not be a history fisherman, but be a current event fisherman.
Okay. So you just kind of go based off what's going on for the years present and all that. So that being said, you may not fish the tournament the same this year as you did last year. You're just going off, what's currently going on in the lake and what the seasonal pattern are for the fish.
Exactly. In fact, last year in this tournament, the water was very low. We were still right just a little bit above winter pool. The water temperature was cold. It was like in the upper 40s. Then now it may be different. The water may be coming up and fish will move differently. They'll position differently, I think. So you just have to take it a bit at a time and watch. I like the western side of the lake. It offers more opportunities, I think, for me. There's guys that catch them on the LBL side, but for me, the western side of the lake lends itself better to my style. And this time of year, they are moving shallow. They've got one thing in mind: they want to spawn. It's either pre-spawn, spawn, or post-spawn. They're right around those areas. One of my best baits is if they're just moving up is a rattle trap, and I can cover a lot of water with a rattle trap. And one of my friends, Cole Floyd, was very accomplished down there. He gave me a few hints on the rattle trap, and And one of the things I do, Theron, is I throw it as far as I can, and I reel it as fast as I can on a high-speed reel. And that was one of the tips that Cole gave me, and it seemed to work out really well. And they obviously never get a chance to look at it. It's all reaction, and especially when they're out in the big, expansive flats. And so that worked well for me in some of the tournaments. I've done well down there. Now, if they get beyond the flats and move back, then you got to look at the transition banks. I call them the gravel banks, and specific things that they will hang up on, so secondary points and little pockets and things like that. Now, Kentucky Lake for me is a very patternable lake. If you can establish a pattern early in practice, you can run that pattern many places on that western side. And so that's what I try to do. If the water level is up and the water temperature is decent, they're going to push back. They're going to push back in those bushes and things like that. And who knows, depending what the rain does to us and water levels, you have to be ready to be flexible and adjust. And like for instance, if the water levels come up and the fish get in the bushes, they'll be in a lot of bushes. But if you look at the back of the bays and you've got some creeks coming in, there'll be some points, some buckbrush points that they like a lot right by those creek entrances back there in the backs. And so you can run points all you want and zip in there and snatch off those the real good spots and the big fish right away, and just keep moving. That seems to work well for me. The thing I made the adjustment was to go to heavier weights. If you're going to flip some bushes, you want to get down in them and get down by the base. And talk to them down there at the very base of the root systems, and I think that works pretty good too. So, so far, we don't know. We've got a couple weeks to go to see how this works out, and it's always an adventure. I love the lake. It gives you a lot of different things to fish. I love ledge fishing, but we haven't been able to really catch them on the ledges for a couple of years now. But in the years past, we've been catching great numbers of 13, 14 and a half inch fish. So I think they're coming. I think the lake is coming back. I think it's going to be a good year.
Okay. Was that predominantly how you did your success last year at the tournament, was throwing that lipless bait?
Yep, absolutely. I had, and I've got a couple spots I like, and I had a limit in 45 minutes and some nice ones in there, and ended up catching, I think 14 keepers during the day. Moved around a little bit, just see if I could get some bigger ones. The year before, the same pattern held up. The water level is the same. It's the same temperature. So those things tend to repeat themselves. And like I said, I don't like to fish history, but I'll explore that history lesson to see if it holds up or not. But if the water level comes up, the temperature's higher, then that'll change things dramatically.
Okay. So this year it looks like you guys have gotten a lot of weather. Unfortunately, in November, December, there was a lot of very traumatic storms that blew through the area. So my prediction is the water is going to be a little bit higher, a little bit darker this year. How do you think that's going to prolong the spawn, if any?
Well, the stained water, the more it is stained, the more it warms up, and it'll warm up quickly, and that'll pull them up shallow. I like that because you can get closer to those fish. You don't have to get really far away from them. Clear water is not one of my favorite things. I like that water to be stained. I like to get right on top of them and put that bait right in their wheelhouse, and then we can maybe work something out. But I like that stained water. I would like the water level to come up and get on some of those bushes. And to the guys who are listening to the podcast, never overlook the real little bitty pockets on the main lake as you're going down that secondary channel. There's a lot of small pockets, and a lot of people pass them by, but you can jump in there and fish just the real high percentage targets and catch yourself a good keeper or two out of those small pockets. So it's just a strategy. You can run and gun all you want, but just don't fish everything. You know, you can go down a bank. Don't fish everything out there. Fish your high percentage areas. It really comes down to probability and math. You know, it sounds crazy, but you know, put the odds in your favor and then keep moving and have, you know, I mentally make a list of places I'm going to go. And I just run through that list. And if I like what I did, I may come back and do it again in the course of a tournament day. So, you know, I'm a very structured guy. You know, I like to have things planned out and execute the plan. And even to the point where early on at Kentucky Lake, when I was learning, I made a list on a note card and put it in my pocket of the places I wanted to hit in order. So I made sure that I didn't miss anything or get excited and forget something. So, you know, that's how I approach it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Stu, really honored to have you on our podcast. Before we let you go, any final thoughts, any other predictions for this year's tournament? And also, I know you got a great support system. Anybody you'd like to thank that helps you and supports your tournament career? We just want to give you a chance to do that.
Okay. First of all, you know, I'd like to say, you know, that, man, I tell you what, you know, the folks we fish against in the LBL are top notch. They're some of the best fishermen on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they're always there's always a great group of guys toward the top, and they're good fishermen. They're good sportsmen, and you know, I've appreciated them very much over the last 10 to 15 years I've been fishing down the LBL. They're good guys. I like to really express my appreciation to my sponsors. Mercury Marine's been very good to me over the years. Lowrance Electronics. There's a lot of times I couldn't do without them. And with all the new technology that's coming on board, if you don't use your electronics and you're not good at it, at a place like Kentucky Lake that has so many different patterns that become available, you're going to be at a disadvantage. And then I have my marine dealership, Dixie Marine, up here in Fairfield, Ohio. Even though I fish the LBL, my home base has always been up here, and these guys have always taken good care of me. So I've got Mercury Marine, I've got Lowrance, I've got Dixie Marine. You know, I couldn't ask for anything better.
Good for you, Stu. Well, Stu, I really appreciate you coming on the podcast. Wishing you the best of luck throughout the year. And, you know, you never know. We hope to have you back on the podcast because that usually means your 2022 season's going very well.
Yeah, I hope so, too. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Absolutely. From all of us at Revital Outdoors, you've been talking to Mr. Stu Eversole. Again, Stu got a top 5 finish last year at the LBL division tournament on the BFL LBL division tournament on Kentucky Lake. Before you go, as always, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out our $2,500 giveaway that we're going to be announcing at the end of the season, the winner to that. Make sure you get your entry into that. And then, as always, from Revital Outdoors, be safe out there. God bless to everybody, and we'll talk to everyone on the very next podcast.